Hello, 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 hello. What a phenomenon time to be alive. Apologies for starting a little bit late. I just wanted to go live and suddenly the mic, I don't know what happened with the mic after everything was perfect and then it wasn't connecting. So I had to switch my laptop in order to accommodate this. So sorry for that couple of minutes delay. But we're here right now. That's technology, right? We're here right now. What a phenomenon time to be alive, and what a phenomenon time to be with you today. Today is an interesting day. And the topic we have today is really, really empowering and liberating at the same time. So I just want you to let me know that you're in the house, that you can hear me clearly, you can see me. If you can drop a comment and just tell me, yes, you are in the house. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how your day has been. Let's have a bit of a chat before we get into what we have today. I'm excited. What a phenomenon time to be alive. What a phenomenon time to be in a relationship. What a phenomenon time to be married, to be loving and to be loved at the same time. Let's go. That's fine. Thank God you find a way around it. Right. Thank you. Thank you, KG. Thank you. You're an amazing woman. Really, really beautiful and amazing lady. Thank you so much. Right. I can see that you can hear me clearly, and I'm excited for us to have an amazing evening today. And just let me know where you are tuning from. KG from Petersburg, UK. Thank you, KG. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. So if you're hearing me, let me just know where you are tuning in from. I want to understand that you're with me and you can hear me very clearly and you are ready for this evening. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I cannot wait for us to get into what we have today, right? And I believe that you had a great day as well. Your family, your spouse, your kids, with work, business, whatever it is that you are doing. I know that 2023 has started and we will make it an amazing year. Hence, this question, this is what we are considering today, and I'm excited. Let's see. Okay, thank you. We hear you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And can you say thank you for joining? Right? Are you happy to be here today? I believe you are. And today's gonna be interesting. It's absolutely interesting section because I've been getting a lot of questions around the topic that we're sharing today. Let me get it up and so that we can all be in sync. I have been getting a lot of questions around how to deal with a difficult spouse and emails, messages. And I think it would be nice for me to treat it openly here so that we can have more people benefit from trying to answer that question, and to ensure that you actually are ready. And I want to say for those watching and for those that's going to watch in the replay, I want to really, really plead with you to be practically honest with yourself. Okay. Some of the things that I might probably say might be a little bit uncomfortable for you or might make you even upset. Don't be upset with me. Don't be angry. But it's just something that you may want to just consider about your life and about your relationship with your wife, with your husband, and with all those around you. So we're looking at how to deal with a difficult spouse, and it's going to be very, very practical. The first thing I would like to say about this is coming from a place of defining and trying to understand who is a difficult spouse. Who is a difficult spouse? Because if we understand what a difficult spouse is, then you begin to ask yourself, that's watching, you're going to watch in replay, if you are a difficult spouse. And then we're also going to talk about how do people become difficult? What makes them difficult, right? And then we're also going to talk about what are the symptoms of a difficult spouse. And then I'm going to give you practical ways on how you can deal or handle a difficult spouse. And if you are a difficult spouse, you find solution as well. And if you're the one dealing with a difficult spouse, you also find solution and healing. The idea about this YouTube live today is not to trigger even more problems for you. It's not to begin to point fingers towards your spouses. Basically, it's for you to reflect. Okay, it's for you to think about your actions and your behaviors, and ways that could have affected your relationship and affected your marriage. Before I go into being a difficult spouse, I just want to talk a little bit about a delightful spouse. I'm a man of faith, and I believe that God created marriage, and his intention and his plan was not to make marriage difficult. His intention was not to make it hard. His intention was not to make it unbearable. And his design for marriage was not for it to be enduring, something you will endure your lifetime. That's not the definition. That was not the intention. In fact, he made it and he called it good. And it was an amazing thing that he created. And right from the Garden of Eden, you know that something happened, and then man was not able to fully function from a place of delightfulness. Due to that break and due to that fall, then human beings like me and you, the term difficulties came, because our original state was not to create the difficulties that we experience in our marriages, in our relationship today. That was not the intention. But that event that took place thousands of years ago had now become a ripple effect upon your character, your behavior, your personality, your lifestyle, your experiences, and have now generated the term called difficult spouse. And I also want to say that when you get married, prior to marriage and on your wedding day, you're not difficult spouse, because you are doing everything to please each other. You are looking forward to the day of vows, exchanging marital vows. You were really excited. Hence, you invited your families, your friends, your colleagues, and there were videos that testified, for those that used video at the time, or cameramen, to capture the moment of that time of exchanging, heartfelt vows. Every marriage starts in a place that you are happy. No marriage starts from a place of difficulties, pain, misery, and all that. You start from the joy, the excitement. And a lot of people believe that the marriage will continue like that. The marriage will continue to be a place of bliss, a place of delight, harmony, a place of joy, excitement, adventure, progress, prosperity, a place of calmness, goodness, everything you can think about. That was the original design. But as you begin to live together, as you begin to grow older in your marriage, then certain things begin to crop up. Some of them are based on your past, some of them are based on your present, and some of them are based on your personalities and the template of your creation, which is your temperament. Things begin to evolve within the marriage, and suddenly your spouse says, "You are difficult." And suddenly the wife said, "You are difficult." And now you see them go through certain event in your relationship, in your marriage, that is now making you absolutely uncomfortable to even deal with the issue. So at the beginning, nobody starts marriage from a difficult place. We all start from delightful excitement, happiness, joy. But as the marriage progresses, the real deal start to show. So now, who is a difficult spouse? A difficult spouse is another human being that is challenging to live with or interact with on a marital relationship or partnership. Normally, these difficult spouse behaviors and actions We are not inflicting any form of abuse or any form of pain or any form of discomfort. No headache. There was no depression. There was no cry or tearfulness or regret. There was no form of remorse. Why did I even marry this person? You were not in a state of dissolution or confusion. But when the behavior and the action of this spouse begin to create unnecessary selfish demands, unkind words, judgmental, when there's some form of abuse, when you are not being controlled, you are not entirely free, you are not comfortable with your spouse in conversation, in relationship, in discussion, you just feel like you are suffocating in the marriage. You are being suffocated in the marriage, or suffocating. You are losing your breath. Then the person making you to lose your breath or to breathe normally or to live in a calm, peaceful environment becomes difficult. And this is when the other spouse is irresponsible, inconsiderate, and totally uncooperative. When the spouse is like this in a marriage, whether it's 1 year marriage, 5 years, 15, 20 years marriage, when you see this happening, it is an indication that there is difficulties, there is strain, and there is pain in that marriage. That person is considered a difficult spouse. And when a difficult spouse exists, the marriage is not very delightful. Most times, the marriage is painful, it's embarrassing. The marriage is a place of war, fight. There is constant disagreement, there's constant pain, there's fighting each other. When this happens in the marriage, in the relationship, then that spouse that is mostly going through this is going through a difficult spouse experiences. How does someone become a difficult spouse? What generates, what makes someone to become a difficult spouse to live with? Why? Unfortunately, we have now understood what a difficult spouse is. The question now you need to ask yourself before we look at how do you become a difficult spouse is, from the definition, are you seeing that there are some traces of difficulties in you? There is an aspect of you that your wife finds difficult to deal with, your husband finds difficult to deal with. And it's not just about being difficult or challenging, it's very hard to live with. It's very hard to daily interact with you because of these difficulties you're experiencing in your marriage, in your relationship. Now let's look at what are the things that creates or causes difficulties in marriage. How does a spouse become difficult in a marriage? Number one, past experiences. There are some past experiences that you have gone through. Some people before they got married, they had some experiences that was so bad. They were exposed to a lot of things. Some people were disappointed with their exes. Some people were beaten. Some people were raped. Unfortunately, so sad. Some people were sexually assaulted, financially assaulted. Some people were treated, belittled. Some people, words that they spoke on them from their father, mother, brother, family, relative, friends, colleagues. All these things are some terrible experiences. Some people had terrible experiences where they in their before they got married, they lost babies, through abortions. Some people because of the sickness they have been through, right? Some people because of war and because of um dangerous things that have happened in their lineage. So All these things are accumulations of events, and you thought that they are okay. Some spouses are just crisis spouses. You know, they are not consolidated spouses. They are just crisis, because crisis is in them because of their past experiences they have been through. So after marriage, those experiences begin to express itself, begin to come out from a different form, in violence, in shouting, in aggressiveness, in controlling, in selfish demand, in bullies, right? And then in not just agreeing, right? Some people, all these events of their past has molded them to a different personality now. And then in the relationship, they say, oh, that's how I am. That's how my father was. That's how my mother was. That is how we were in our village, in our town and city. That's how I grew up. Everybody know I talk like this. Everybody know I'm that mean. And they even validate their difficulties in their relationship, in their marriages. They validate based on their past. And in trying to make them realize that their past is a problem, they become defensive. They even struggle to admit that they have issues. I'm fine. But you're not fine, because your behavior is not a fine behavior. Your actions and your attitude is not a fine behavior or attitude. So why will you say you are fine? So a lot of spouses in relationships, they are not spouses that are okay. They are crisis spouses. And that is why you see a lot of violence today, a lot of pain, a lot of torture, bullying, a lot of selfish demands, controlling, judgmental. All these things exist in relationships that shouldn't have been. Why? Because of what they have been through. So those past experiences of chronic um, cheats, chronic involvement in sexual activities and all sorts, these things come to haunt them in their relationships, because they have not really dealt with it. And also, yes, they gaslight as well. Thank you, KG. They gaslight, they humiliate, and these are based on their past experiences. Number two, how are people becoming difficult in their relationship? Spouses, unresolved personal issues. Now, you are carrying something. You've not forgiven your father. You've not forgiven that ex. You've not made peace in the past. And then you carry all this unforgiveness, this hurt that you have dealt with before marriage or even the early years of marriage, and you just dwell there in the relationship. So what happened is that those unresolved issues makes you a crisis spouse. You might dress like me, you might look very beautiful, you might look amazing, but here in your psyche and in your mindset, you are damaged. You are wounded. Okay, you are not okay. You are not normal. So the way you talk is not normal, but you think it's normal. The way you treat your wife is not normal, but you think it's normal. The way you bully the kids and everything around you is just terrorizing every environment that you find yourself, and you think it's normal. It's not normal. You are just a crisis spouse. Number three, how does one become a difficult spouse? Lack of emotional intelligence. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, as a coach, even me myself, I had to work on me to be emotionally intelligent. And I'm still developing, actively working on me from a place of emotional intelligence. Most people think because they are religious or they read religious texts or they go to a religious environment or they go to a place to pray, and they just assume that, oh, they're emotionally intelligent. Well, that has an effect if you actually allow it to work in you. That has an effect if you actually allow it to work in you. The inability for you to manage you. Think about this. A lot of relationships and marriages are suffering today because the man is not emotionally matured. The woman is not emotionally matured. And what do I mean by that? The ability for you to manage the craziness in you, or the demon of rascality inside of you. Let me say it again. In a simple term, emotional intelligence is the ability for you to control and tame the demon of rascality and craziness inside you. To be able to know when you are sad, when you are happy, when you are connected, what triggers you, how do you manage yourself so you can manage others. Everything your spouse says is like a fuel to you, because there are a lot of things you have not dealt with. Many spouses that are difficult, they are acting like children. In fact, some spouse are children mindset in an adult body, because they are not matured. They have not processed their emotions to a place whereby they can manage when things does not go their way, when things is not according to the way they have planned, they have designed. Let me give you a scenario. Do you know why you married your spouse? Do you know why you married him or her? Okay, you did. You have different reasons. But if you are a person of faith like me, and that God has brought you in, it's critically important for you to know one thing. The person that you have married, it's important to know that they're not perfect, they're work in progress, right? Just think about this. How are you able to show unconditional love when everything in your spouse's life is perfect? God does not give you someone that is going to meet all your need 100%. No, he can't. Otherwise, he will cease to be God in your life, right? So, whoever you marry cannot be God to you. So, there are some expectations that they might not be able to meet. You have to understand that from an emotional intelligence point of view. So, your ability to try to use power, to use threats, manipulation, control, demands, and blackmail and gaslighting to subdue your wife and your husband as a subject, as a slave, is a clear testament that you are a child but in an adult body. So you are not expressing unconditional love. Most people say, well, if she does this, then I do this. If he does this, then I do this. Then where's the place of unconditional love? Why do you think your wife is going to meet all your need in this world? Why do you think your husband is going to meet all your need in this world? If they do, then they're not husbands, they're not wives, they are God. God. But can I just be clear and frank with you? Your wife is not a God. Your husband is not a God. It's very important to know that. So this is why your expectation about them, you need to manage it. But how do you manage it? With emotional intelligence. But most people don't have emotional intelligence. And that's one of the problem. And then number 4, lack of effective communication skills. Many couples do not know how to talk. Wow. When they open their mouth to say something, because they lack emotional intelligence, they just pour out the venom. They pour out the poison. They use the word that cuts to the heart and pierce their wives and their husband, like it's like a dagger right into their heart. And they're so excited doing it. Lack of emotional intelligence makes them to speak words that we cannot even say on this live practical section, because they are just so mean, so belittling. They're just so horrible to even mention. But they use this word because they say, I'm angry. Go and ask my parents. When I get angry here, everybody knows that I'm angry. Are you serious? You don't know how to speak? You don't even know how to listen. You know what's weird? Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that just because you can talk and you're an adult, you are talking right. You are talking sense. or you are speaking in a way that makes a lot of meaning and bring transformation. If you speak and your words are not edifying, not elevating, not lifting up, but tearing down, then you're a difficult spouse, right? A difficult spouse. Another thing that makes people, or that makes them become difficult spouse, is unhealthy coping mechanism. Unhealthy coping mechanism. Do you know that difficult spouse are difficult because they have stress? I mean, I can't tell you how much stress I have been last year. Everybody has stress. We have healthy stress, unhealthy stress. But stress is a practical and normal thing. We all have stress in one way or the other. But because you have stress does not make you to start going into some things. People, when they are stressful, they just call their girlfriend, and um they want to go and have an affair. Some people, they went ahead to go and start smoking or drink a lot of alcohol because they're upset, they're angry, and they're not happy about their spouse or things that's happened. That's how you become a difficult spouse. They're not influenced by drugs, by alcohol, by substances. Some people go into pornographies, unhealthy relationships, some go into sleeping around, and this is how they cope when something is stressful, when something is not going their way. They join bad friends, bad gangs, they join groups, and things are how they're just looking for a way to let out what they're going through. And then another way to become a difficult spouse is inability to compromise. They find it hard to compromise. It's their way or the highway. They never bend, they never compromise. They are just hard on what they want, and this is what they want, and they make sure they keep to it. Ask yourself, marriage is all about compromise. Marriage is all about talking and finding a middle ground. It's not all about you. In a marriage, in a relationship, I've seen where spouse is just controlling everything. And at the end of the day, because they are not compromising, they will blame their spouse about everything. And they're just so heady and difficult to deal with. That's how they become difficult spouse. Number 7 is infidelity. You know, it's important to know that relationships, you get into marriage to be faithful. And when you are not careful, and when you've not dealt with your past, and you've not dealt with things that have caused problem to you even before you got married, and you are keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the exes, keeping up with the side chicks, keeping up with the side elephants and side hippopotamus and side horses, what do you expect? You're gonna be difficult. You know, I hear some people say, "Oh, you know what? I can't even live with my wife. That woman is so difficult. I can't even handle her. But when I go to my girlfriend, the way she touches me, the way she cooks for me, and the way she treats me is so sweet, and that's why I give her money, and that's why I treat her nice, because she's just a nice lady. And yeah, I mean, I know I'm committing an affair, but I just wish my wife would be like this, my side chick." No, she's not gonna be like your side chick. No, no, no. She cannot be like your side chick, because your side chick does not live with you, mister. Your side horses does not live with you, madam. You might get away with all these secrets now, but how are you gonna look at your spouse in the eye and want them to be like your boyfriend or your girlfriend outside marriage? They don't live with you. They don't know all your quacks. They know all the ups and downs of your life. They don't know the details of who you are. Side chicks, unfortunately, they see it as a job, and they will want to make sure that they get paid. They get the money for their rent. You buy them car. You buy them flight ticket to go abroad. You sponsor their projects. You help their parents. You do all this. So it's a job. How do you expect them to treat you? You want them to lose their job? No. So they will do everything to please you. And then you're like, I love all these ladies. Whenever I go to that city, she's so beautiful. Wow. Look at her body and everything. And I just love everything about that woman. No, 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 no. You can't do that. You know, my that guy, my boss, he's such an amazing boss. You know, the way we talk, and then you guys kiss, you fumble, you sex together, and then you are comparing your boss with your husband. Mm-mm. Nah, nah. That is wrong. Absolutely wrong. So we have seen what causes people to become difficult spouse. Now, some of the things I'm saying might make you uncomfortable or might bring flashback. The idea is not to cause pain or trouble in your marriage this evening. It's for you to just reflect and find a solution, and which I'm going to share lately. So, talk about past experiences, unresolved personal issues, lack of emotional intelligence, lack of communication skills, unhealthy coping mechanisms, inability to compromise, and infidelity. These things make a person, a spouse, to become difficult. Now, what are the symptoms of a difficult spouse? Right? When you are in a marriage, how do you know that marriage is very, very difficult? What are the things that shows? We have seen how you become a difficult spouse. Now, what are the things that show that what you are doing in your marriage, in your relationship, is actually very, very difficult? Number one, emotional and verbal abuse. When there is a conflict, when there is a misunderstanding, when you are not entirely very happy with your marriage, with your relationship, with the event, and then the next thing you go into is to deny your spouse of their emotional needs, is to abuse them with words, is to hit them back so that they are not able and fully to be themselves. Sometimes the way you speak to your spouse, what you say, some of the words has shut them down. Some of the words has broken them. Some of them are so incapacitated, they're not even able to be effective in their jobs and works anymore because they keep hearing that your voice, that your words, that is so damaging, so self-confidence and self-esteem destructiveness comes in, and then you use control, you manipulate them, you belittle them, you criticize them, you insult them, you insult their parents, their family, you insult, you gaslight. You're just mean to your spouse, just mean. And you are mean to your spouse is so sad in the sense that you know exactly that what you are doing is hurting your spouse. So you are enjoying the pain you are inflicting upon your spouse. You are enjoying the pain they are going through. And you said, this is how to control her. This is how to control her. I'm going to control this man. And then you use all your venom and the words. Then you are in a difficult marriage and you are a difficult spouse. Control and manipulation. The actions of your spouse you control, the decisions of your spouse you control. You even want to think for them. Their thoughts, you are also in charge of their thoughts. Everything is about you. And you use all sorts of manipulative tactics. You withhold affection. When you're supposed to make love, you say, I won't make love to you. When you're supposed to give money, I won't give that money to you. Like, you use everything you have just to control and keep them under. You know all their quack side, their flaws, you know the mistakes they have made, all their past experience they shared with you from a place of vulnerability. Now you use it and you whip them with what you know. You use your words and everything you do to keep them under control and manipulation. That's a difficult spouse. Number three, unresponsive and uncooperative. You know, when a difficult spouse, they never respond, they are not willing to budge, they never cooperative, anything about them, they want you to support, make sure you are there for them. But when it's about you, they find way to bring that thing down. Your dreams, your goals, no. Whatever you desire, no. Everything is no, 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 no. But them, yes, 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 yes. And then at the end of the day, you are feeling sad and miserable because what they are doing to you is hurting you, and you are trapped in that place. Difficult spouse trap their spouses in a place of unhappiness and sadness. And then, how do you know you're a difficult spouse? When you are living in infidelity. A difficult spouse cheat and they just feel like it's okay. And they will even come and tell their spouse, I cheated, but it was a mistake. I cheated. They joke about it. They even think that it's their right to go and cheat. And they're just causing emotional havoc. They are leaching the blood of their spouse. They're killing them gradually and destroying their relationship because they feel that infidelity is their right. It's a shame. And because of that, they don't even care how their spouses feel. They don't even want to think about how they deal with this kind of emotions every day. You catch them on marital, you catch them, they're all over the place. They cheat on, they watch pornography, and they don't want to even seek for help. They're doing all this everywhere. And sometimes the cheating spouse will come and say, okay, I'm cheating. Okay, what about you? Have you not cheated before? And they know you are not cheating, but just because they want to cover up, it's like 1-1-1. We are playing football. You have played as well. No, she didn't play football. He didn't play any football. So why are you not comparing? You're just using tactics to cover your infidelity and continue to be difficult. Other people is lack of empathy and compassion. Do you know how much difficult spouse creates pain? Empathy. They never feel what their spouse is feeling. They're not compassionate. I mean, you're watching this and you're going to watch this in replay. My question to you is this: where is compassion in your heart? Where is empathy in your heart? Are you empathizing, or you're just looking afar? You don't feel what they feel, and the way you respond to when they ask for help and support, there is no form of empathy. Their feeling doesn't matter. Their needs doesn't matter. Their desires doesn't matter. Their wants doesn't matter. It's all about you, because you lack that ability to see them happy. Some spouse are just Satan's toolbox. You know, some spouse, this difficult spouse, are Satan's toolbox. It's like they're just being remote control from hell. Everything is just fine, and they just want to do something that will just create big, 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 big pain in the heart of their spouse. Difficult spouse are Satan's toolbox, right? And then you also have number 6, inconsistency. They're very inconsistent in their words. They never keep to their words. Their yea is not yea. Their nay is not yea. When they say yes, it's no. When they say no, it's yes. You can never hold them from a place of integrity. Inconsistent. And one of the biggest problem is in their inconsistency, they lie a lot. They lie in the morning. They lie in the evening. They lie in the night. They lie all the time. They're in the ministry of lying. They love lie. They eat lie. They drink lying. So dishonest, so not transparent, and they lie to cover things, and they just assume that because they are lying, it is their right to be like that. Inconsistency in their dealing with their spouse is dangerous, and I can tell you that it is not the best, and it's not the best place to be. And the question is there something you are hiding? Because when you are inconsistent, they're inconsistent in telling the truth. If you're not telling the truth, then you have secrets, isn't it? And you wonder why marriages are like this. Because you have chosen not to come from that place whereby you are transformed from the inside. So your marriage can begin to experience bliss and delightfulness. God never designed your marriage to be a place of pain, a place of horror. Some of these marriages that we see, we hear, we read about, you wonder, is it a horror movie? Are we like watching something they acted? But isn't acting. Another human being delights to hurt another human being. Another human being takes pleasure in ensuring another person is not happy. Another person is sad and miserable and depressed, taking antidepressant medication. They just see pain happening in another place. That is not nice. But how do you now deal with a difficult spouse? If you're experiencing difficulty in your marriage or relationship, whereby it is very hard to live, just to speak is difficult, communication is hard, openness is difficult, and you wonder why. Sometimes you see them, they shout so much hallelujah, they speak so much in tongues, but behind the scene, the way they treat their wives, the way they treat their husbands, you will never believe that's that same person that is singing hallelujah and speaking in tongues. Unbelievable. It just tells you that they are not regenerated, they're not transformed, and hence they are just pretending, big time hypocrites, and causing more pain in their relationship. So, how do you deal with a difficult spouse now? Let's get down to the meat. This is very important. How do you deal with a difficult spouse? Number one, communicate openly and honestly. Communicate openly and honestly. See, first of all, you need to identify what is difficulty to you. Now, some people know how to manage people, they know how to manage some situation. But you need to understand that any event, any difficulty that causes you pain, anything that your spouse does to you that creates regrets, creates sadness, makes you almost wanting to get out of that environment because it's toxic. It shows that something isn't right. The behavior, the action, and the attitude isn't right. That means we need to do something about it. So you need to identify what is it that is creating this thing in your marriage, in your relationship with your spouse. We have to talk about it. Most adults, I said, communicate openly and honestly. Most adults do not know how to communicate openly. In fact, some people are afraid of saying some things. They're afraid of communicating because they know that their man is a lion, like their woman is a tiger. They know that there will be tsunamic destruction if you dare open your mouth to say certain things. And they have this hot temper, and the hot temper and the anger outburst humiliate and try to suppress and put the other person under because they do not want to be accountable to what they're doing. You need to be bold to say, look, I can't take this, we need to talk about this, but come from a place of openness, calm, non-confrontational. All right, ensure that you try to understand why your spouse want to talk about this. Try to understand their perspectives, because marriage is not all about you. It's not just about one person. Marriage is not about one person in the marriage. Two people make a marriage. So there's going to be joint discussion, joint agreement, joint partnership. If one person is in charge of everything in the relationship, in the marriage, then there's a problem. That person is difficult when the other person cannot express themselves. All right. Number two, set boundaries. Okay. Let there be consequences when some things happen. People are afraid to tell their spouse or even tell their husbands or tell their wives, I'm not happy with this. And because you are doing this, this is the consequence. Oh, they are terrified. Sometimes they're terrified as well. And they don't want to speak up because the man will say, okay, get my house or leave this place and all that kind of things. Why you are just shop and you can't even say a word. And you cannot continue like this, right? Have a clear boundary. There are things you accept, there are things you will not accept. A an abuser has something in his brain that makes them abuse. But when you begin to confront the action and the behavior of an abuser, of a difficult spouse, the brain begin to adjust that we can't just be doing this. So we can reset the brain, but you have to do it from a place of calmness. Communicate your boundaries very clearly. Enforce them. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Say, look, I am not happy when you do this because it hurts this. And because of this, I will not be able to fully be present with you. You will lose connection with me. Whatever works in your relationship, you gotta set boundaries. Doesn't matter whether you're in Africa, in Europe, America, Asia, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, boundary is boundary. Set it. It's very important. Number three, seek professional help. If you have tried several things and it's not working, seek professional help. Okay? Do not take it for granted. No, most people are saying, we're going to pray about it. Okay, that's good. It's good to pray about it. Okay, that's good. But at the same time, wisdom demands that you also seek professional help. Okay? And professional help like counselors. You have tried to deal with things by yourself. You need an expert, a trained expert to come in, a coach to support you guys deal with this thing and confidentially take you guys to the other side where you are supposed to be from A to B. So do not neglect this. Sometimes, from my experience, most women are the one that actually go to seek for help. Most women. We have a couple of men that try these days, but a lot of women want help and they go for programs. They do this, they do that. They are looking for solution. Because they want their home. Sometimes the men do as well. But it's important to know that you don't stop your spouse from finding help because they are dying. The love is vanishing. The marriage is about to break. You guys are like roommates. You are like business partners. You are not even intimate anymore. Then why are you going to leave seeking for professional help? Number five, practice self-care. You need to look after yourself. Dealing with a difficult spouse, you need to look after yourself because they can drive you crazy. A difficult spouse can cause you hypertension, heart attack. A difficult spouse can bring depression, suicidal thoughts. You become really, really painful in your experiences. You have to guide your heart and your mind. That is why you can't just sit there and expect yourself to be bullied and in pain because you don't want anybody to know what is going on and then you are dying. And let me say this, there are some people that die in their marriage and relationship, but the killer is not found and the killer is not prosecuted. Listen, this is very important. When you are abusing someone and they have hypertension, they may not die immediately. And because of what they are doing is affecting their health, they become obese, diabetic, and then eventually they become sick and then they die, and then you go to marry another woman and you go to marry another man, and then you come there with your black and then you say, oh, my wife, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, the kids, oh, and then you cry the crocodile tears, and then now on the day you now come and say, I want to read, my husband was this, my wife was this, they were very kind. No, no. And I did everything to help them. It's a lie. You abuse them, you hurt them, you killed your wife, you killed your husband, but you're not going to tell anyone about that. You created the heart attack, you created the stuff just because it didn't happen immediately. After 5 years they now die, after 10 years they died, after 8 years, 7 years they die. You killed them gradually, you killed them, and now you have married another one and you want to go and get another one. Delayed murder is still a murder. Stop killing your spouses gradually. A lot of people that have died last year, 10 years ago, their wives were not prosecuted, their husbands were not prosecuted, and people thought they died a natural death. Well, natural death, but we created a natural death. We created a natural thing that caused the natural death. Is the husband, difficult spouse, is the wife, difficult spouse, and now they've lost their beloved wife, and now they are crying and they are reading out tribute, and they write on social media, they write online, they write book, autobiography. She was great, he was great. Liars, liars. Why don't you tell us that you killed her? Why don't you just tell us, I dealt with her, I beat her up, I emotionally abused her until she had depression, and then she had heart attack, and then she died? But nobody says that. A lot of men are not prosecuted. A lot of women are not prosecuted. But guess what? If you continue like this, you're going to be prosecuted by God anyway. He knows everything you are doing to that woman. He knows everything you are doing to that man. You might escape now. Everything might be fine with you. But I guarantee you, you are going to be judged one day. You need to come out of these practices. Stop killing your spouse. All right? And then the next one is be flexible and compromise to support your spouse. Be flexible and compromise. Be adaptable. Find a way to look at things in a different perspective. It's not all about you. Be flexible. Always understand that it is part of being married. You can't be rigid, fixed mindset. You never grow. You're just the same. It's dangerous. That's not very good for your marriage and for your relationship. It's important that you look into yourself. They say look at the mirror and work on the person that you see, the reflection on the mirror. When you point finger, there's other fingers pointing at you. Work on you. Take out what? The beam that is in your eye before you take out the mote in your brother's in somebody's eyes. So work on you first. This is very, very important. And finally, take responsibility. Take responsibility. You want to deal with a difficult spouse, take responsibility. Every time it's all about blaming your wife, blaming your husband, blaming them for everything. You know, there was a case I handled, and this man was just blaming the wife for everything that has happened in that marriage. Everything. And then when I spoke and find out, I actually realized this man has got 32 things wrong in his life. 32. I was able to detect, itemize, tabulate, and bring out all the 32 habits, behaviors, characters, and all the trouble that he has created in his marriage and the pain he's causing on the wife. But he is the blamer. 32 things wrong in one person. That's a lot of things wrong in that man. And that man was really, really the pain in the life of that woman. But yet he blamed the woman for everything. He never looked at himself. Yes, the woman have her own fault. She have her own issues. But whereby you don't take any responsibility, when you beat the woman, it's her fault. When you hit, it's her fault. When you get angry, it's her fault. When you yell, it's her fault. When you shout, it's her fault. When you abuse, it's her fault. Everything is her fault. Excuse me? Don't you even know that by just saying that your wife or your husband is the problem in your marriage 100%, don't even think that you are delusional. Don't even think you're not thinking right. You need help. Like, seriously, need to see a psychologist. Need to work on your mind because it's not practical. So we're saying that own it. Be bold to own something. It's my fault. I created it. I caused this mess. I'm going to work on me. Own it. Stop shifting blames or trying to gaslight or blackmail or call your in-laws or call your friends or call the pastor so that they can defend you. But you know you are manipulating your spouse. You know exactly what you're doing. That marriage is difficult and that spouse is difficult. So if you have this challenge in your marriage, in your relationship, I've given you practical steps on what you need to do. And also, if you are watching me and you are a difficult spouse, you know exactly what you need to do now. And you're going to watch this in replay and you know you're a difficult spouse. You are the one creating real problem. Then you got to do something about it, about your state. In doing so, you are taking responsibility to change your marriage and change your relationship. And I know that if you're bold enough to admit and to realize that your marriage is supposed to be a place of delight, it's supposed to be a place of happiness and joy, a harmony, you need to be enjoying your marriage. And I can tell you that there are people enjoying their marriages, great marriages, sweet marriages. Walking, because they have worked on themselves. So whatever is the baggage you have, whatever is the trauma, whatever is the issue you have, whatever the thing that is bothering you, I want you to know that you are a crisis spouse. You are a crisis spouse, and you got to work on yourself to change your relationship and to make it a place whereby everybody is comfortable and happy to enjoy that marriage. Don't be a crisis spouse. Be a spouse that creates love, peace, harmony with your significant other. And before I go, I just want to thank those that have joined us. And don't go. I want to share something very quickly with you as well. As you know, this is Married Life TV, and we're here to support and guide and make sure that your relationship is stronger and stronger. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Like, comment, share these videos so that we can have more people watch this video and transform their relationships and their lives. Okay, and you can watch it together with your spouse or watch it together with a group. They could learn and then discuss this. You can use this as a seminar. You can use this to help your spouses to be better. This is very, very important. Okay, this is absolutely important. Now, the other thing again I want to say is this: we have some things that are coming up, right? The things that are coming up, which I want to share now, and yeah, which I believe that you want to be part of in 2025. Okay, first I want to say this: if you look at the screen, you will realize that we have this program that is coming up, Reconnection Couples Retreat. And I'm doing this with my incredible and amazing sage, an amazing woman. And this is coming up in America. So after this, if you want to be part of this, down below you will see a link. You can just put your interest there if you want to be part of those that want to, participate in this Reconnection Couples Retreat. It's going to be an amazing program, and it's going to bring a lot of transformation in your marriage, in your relationship. So you can be part of it, and you can start changing your marriage and changing your relationship if you go below and just put your interest. Say, look, I'm interested in this. I want to be part of this. And then we'll find a way to ensure that you are actually part of those that are going to be um, are selected to join us in the US for this program. Okay, look at the date, 21 to 23rd, and that's happening in the US. Click and let us know your interest. And also, you can also send us WhatsApp message via this link as well. You can see there that number. You can send a WhatsApp message, say, look, I'm interested, I'm thinking about this, all right, and they'll be able to find to support you, or you could also send us an email as well to be part of this event. All right. Okay. Now that's for the United States. Also have a program for those in the UK or the surrounding countries, right? So this is the UK version from the 26th to the 29th of May 2023. We are having a Reconnection Couples Retreat in the UK in collaboration with the Woman and Half, with Married Life Management, working together with Eden A. Onwuka. We're going to be having this incredible and amazing program. This is where you and your spouse are going to come together to transform your marriage and relationship. I can tell you, where me and this lady come together to host a program, I want you to know that it's transformation. You will not remain the same. So let your friends know about this. Let them be part of it. And I can tell you, the relationship is going to change, it's going to transform, and you will not remain the same as well. So this is really, really important that you are part of what and what we intend to do as well. So this is the UK version. You can email us, you can text us, you can WhatsApp us, and also you can also click the Google form below in order for you to be part of this program. So that's what we have. And then there's something as well that I want to share with us. Okay, this is the another program we have. This is in the UK here. I think this is the single one. Let me share this one. I think this one. Yeah. Okay. So this is Couples Mastermind. All right. This is a mastermind where we take you from January to December. we're in a group and we meet online. Okay, you can be anywhere in the world, right? It's just a transformative program. We started this month already, and it's just going so strong. If you want to be part of this program, please let me know. Send us a message, send my team a message through the WhatsApp group, and email us, or just send us a message on any of our social media sites. We'll be able to support you to be part of this. 2023, we are taking you from a practical point of view to support you throughout 2023. Every day you get a voice note with me. You have an action plan that you need to do in order to support your relationship to grow and to be better. So that's January to December 2023, every day with me and other experts as well. And we have so many other giveaways as well that we offer. And that is something that I want you to reflect and take advantage of. Get to us. I'll be able to support you and make sure that you are part of us before we close the door finally, and just focus on empowering marriages, learning together, and immersing ourselves in things that will change us and help us to be better spouse throughout the year. I also want to say that in 2023, there's a lot of workshop that is coming up. Okay, you're gonna be knowing that because as I do this, you're gonna be hearing from me. Those that are my email list, you can go to the website as well. You can connect with us by getting some things from the website. We're offering templates, but join our email list so that we'll be able to let you know what we are up to. There are a couple of workshops that's going to be taking place in the UK, in London, in Manchester, in a couple of cities around the country, in different hotels, but we're going to be getting those dates confirmed very shortly. So there's going to be a lot we are doing in 2023 to support your marriages and support your relationship to be better. All right. So I'm happy and excited that you waited and participated in today's call. Take advantage of whatever we're offering. Share our videos, like our videos, comment. And if you want me to cover any topic, okay, if you want me to cover any topic, if there's something that is bugging you, this thing that I did today was as a result of someone asking questions and people telling me about this as well. And also from my coaching room, I had to do this to help wider audience. So share the video, comment, let us know what you want us to do. As long as is providing value to you, we'll be able to support you. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Married Life Management underscore, on Facebook as well, Married Life Management. Our community is buzzing as well. Join us in our community on Facebook. Our Telegram group as well is there. Just search for us everywhere. You will find us, and we'll be able to support you and make sure that your marriage is strong, delightful, and exciting. Okay, let's see. Thank you so much for all those thank you for all those beautiful comments as well. Because of our time now, we'll be wrapping up. But if you want, any support from this, and you want me to work with you one to one, it's very easy. Just send a text message, a WhatsApp. I'll be able to work with you one to one. Or you want me to come and speak at your church, at your marriage group, or wherever it is in the country, let me know. We'll come down there to help and support all marriages as God gives me the grace. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for showing up today. I'm so delighted. God bless you and have an amazing and beautiful evening. Remain blessed until we'll speak again. Signing off now.